From launch until present day, Virgin Voyages have done several things exceptionally well, and I'm going to be discussing some of those in today's video. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to our next adventure with me, Jason. Virgin Voyages have been absolute champions at several things since the very moment that they launched, and I want to go through several of those that I think are noteworthy, some a bit obvious, some not so obvious, but in every single case, some great value adds. So without further ado, let's get started. First things first, we have to speak about it, of course, is the dining. They have done such an excellent job at nailing the dining experience on Virgin Voyages for the most part. And I do want to focus predominantly on dinner and their premium dining restaurants. When you go to a Virgin Voyages onboard restaurant, there is something that has to be really sung in high regard, and that is the fact that when you look at the menu, starter, main, dessert, sides, everything, there's typically such a well thought out menu design that everyone is pretty much covered at every step of the way, and it's very rare that someone isn't. Not only that, but unlike other cruise lines, etc., with different models, so that does have to be said in their fairness, they offer a treat yourself menu where you can pay extra to get a particular item that is not included in your fare. Now, the really great thing about this that I just don't see enough people saying is the fact that really those items, I've never felt that they are a must get. They're not going to push for you to purchase. And on top of that, if you've ever had them, you really are going to sit there and go, you know, that was nice because I felt like that, but I don't feel I need it. And that's awesome. It means that every time you sit down, you don't have to kind of have this cynical thought about like, oh, okay, I get it. The food that's available here is the food, and the food that's on the extra charge stuff, that's the good stuff. No, it really is a case of like, you felt like that particular thing. You felt like Wagyu and not regular beef. Okay, so just pay extra, you'll get the Wagyu. And Wagyu is a premium product. It's like really difficult to import that outside of Japan. And so, you know, it makes sense. Truffle, same thing. So I really love the fact that when they made this, they didn't go and say, here's something we know you'd like. Like, for example, here's a sirloin steak. Do you want a fillet? Do you want a ribeye? Oh, unfortunately, you're gonna have to pay extra for that. I really think they deserve praise for that. Well, moving on to the next thing. Second thing I want to talk about, I think is actually a small moment of genius, and I really use that sparingly, genius, that Virgin Voyages had, and that is to do with the muster drill or the safety video in Virgin Voyages case as well. So just a quick FYI so that everyone's on the same page here. If you've never cruised before, part of maritime law is that on every cruise, you have to have been told or reasonably informed of the safety protocols with the ship, where to meet in the event of emergency, where your life jackets are located, how to put them on, and all the other things you need to know. Now, the awesome thing that Virgin did is they probably understood like, hey, you know what, this is something that's kind of a drag. Everyone wants to start their vacation. Who at this point in time, after all their flights, hotels, traveling, finally getting on the ship, wants to now stop what they're doing or, have to go through the same instructions every single time? It's boring, it's not very memorable, etc. No one's happy to be there. And Virgin came up with this music video that goes through the entire safety instructions. That's very on brand, very memorable, and actually pretty cool. So my only advice is, after hearing that, if you weren't aware of this, don't go and watch it on YouTube, not because it's not worth watching, but because if you ever do go on Virgin Voyages, at some point you're going to get a little bit tired of it. But unless you're just doing several back-to-backs in a row, I think it will still hold out for quite a while. So it's great that they have that there. I really give them a thumbs up. And it's actually part of my top 12 tips for Embarkation Day. If you're interested into why that's a top tip, you'll need to go check out that video if you haven't already. It is like almost a gospel video at this point and how useful it is. I'll put it somewhere up here and of course in the comment sections below. Anyway, moving on to the next one. Number 3 is the embarkation process. I really think that Virgin have come up with the best way possible to handle what is ultimately that last major bureaucratic hurdle that is standing between you and finally being able to enjoy your much needed and anticipated vacation, right? You've just come from the airport or checking out of your hotel or driving a long distance to get to the cruise port. Whatever the situation is, you're so close, and yet damn, you've got this extra bureaucratic step to check in essentially to your hotel at sea. And Virgin, I think, have just done a great way of streamlining that process and making it as little or as painless rather as possible. And so huge kudos to them. I love it. I mean, from the moment it's your time to begin your embarkation to the moment you get on the ship, the gap is tiny. And once you're on board the ship, your room is ready. You can go and put your luggage away. And for me, I just have this thing knowing that my luggage is now finally in my cabin. I am able to relax and begin my vacation. So that's it, 2 thumbs up for me. Speaking of thumbs up, just a small thing from me. If you haven't already, I'd greatly appreciate if you subscribe to the channel. Not to mention, if you're enjoying this video, finding it useful, to give it a thumbs up. And again, leave a comment in the comment section. Is there something in particular you like that I mentioned? Something I maybe missed out that you think is worth noting and is really awesome to you? And also, of course, if you have any suggestions for future videos that you want me to do, I love hearing your feedback and replying as soon as I can. And I always am so grateful for the continued support that you're showing. So thanks for that. Oh, by the way, a really important little announcement that I want to make. If you haven't already, I have got an Instagram channel for you to follow as well. Now, that is going to help you in such a big way. Why? Because I like to post the highlights from my different trips abroad there. They're not all cruise related. They're actually also just sometimes pure land vacations and destinations. The upside to it is if maybe you're thinking of traveling somewhere and I've been there, you'll be able to check out the photos for inspiration. And I, of course, tag where it is. So if you're planning, you don't even need to ask me, hey, where was this? It's right there. Again, it just is to help you with your travel planning and having an awesome time. And you can always leave a comment there on the photos if you have a question for me. I'm always happy to help out if I can. Number 4 has to be the nightlife or club life on Virgin Voyages. I really love the way that every single sailing, every single night, you know that the destination, if you want to go clubbing, is going to be the singular destination. That's the manor. You know that there's going to be a club theme of music every single night. You don't have to guess. So you just know about this one venue you go. Many times on other cruise lines, you'll see that they have multiple venues going on at the same time. Oh, we're doing Bee Gees music in this place and we're doing, I don't know, Pink Floyd in the other. Now, the one venue is massive. It's got a lot of people in it, but it doesn't have enough people to make it feel like it's got a good atmosphere. Despite having tons of people, it's just the venue's too big. On the other hand, you have the venue that's too small, but it's got a very small group of people there, and it's just not enough to get a good vibe going. I can't stand it. Such a lost opportunity. So I'd much rather have that situation where there's this awesome, well-designed, really well thought out venue that you can go to every single night. There's always going to be a club thing going on there. And you don't have to dance if you don't want to dance. It's actually very well designed also if you just want to sit and chat and have a drink with someone. As an important aside for anyone who's not a fan of clubbing and that sort of environment, every night as well, typically they have got live music playing at On the Rocks, which is the bar near the central part of the ship. So if you're not a fan of clubbing and that kind of environment and space, that's okay. You actually have usually really good live music playing at the On the Rocks bar. So there's something for all kinds of moods. The only thing that I haven't managed to see is some really nice smooth jazz played, but maybe there just aren't enough people who like it. Anyway, I really like it. Wish they did it. And the last thing that I really want to give them massive praise for, and it's not that there aren't other things that they do very well, but I just want to make sure that we touch on the things that really stand out to me. And it's different for everybody, and that has to be the band. No, not the band that could be playing on the ship when you're there. I'm actually talking about something completely different. I'm talking about these bands. You see, Virgin Voyages during your embarkation process are going to give you one of these. It's this color if you're in a regular cabin, and it's this color if you have a Rockstar cabin. They do exactly the same thing. They just look different. The one is to make sure that everyone knows you spent maybe more money than you should have on your cabin. I say that jokingly. It's your choice, your money, do as you wish. And you are basically replacing the need of a key card or a card of some sort when it comes to getting into your cabin, paying for anything that costs money and needs to be charged to your account. They're fantastic. You literally tie them on your wrist and they never have to come off until you're done on the ship. Of course, if you want, you can always take them off, when you're showering and stuff. I literally just leave mine on. It never comes off my wrist, and the way I tie it is in such a way that it is impossible for this thing to ever fall off. So I never find myself accidentally and awkwardly locking myself outside of my own cabin, or finding myself needing to pay for something and realizing, oh damn, I forgot my card to pay with. So it is so awesome. And again, it's a small thing that just makes things so much easier and more pleasant. I wish everywhere used something like this. And yes, when I recently went on NCL, who still use a card, I did, I think twice, end up locking myself outside of my cabin, which was very annoying, awkward, and I was just disappointed with myself. Anyway, well, that's it from me. I hope you found this video useful, interesting, and or at worst entertaining. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, and leave a comment in the comment section below. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.